What's up, boys and girls? Today we're with a different commander. We're with the Daxos of Meletis. So if you don't know what Daxos does, he is a 2/2 legendary creature, human soldier. And what does he do for that cost? Well, whenever he deals common damage to a player, exile the top card of that player's library, and you gain life equal to that card's converted mana cost. Until end of turn, you may cast that card, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast it. So, what does that mean? Well, it's a good question. It means you can't play lands if they get exiled off the top of your opponent's libraries, and you can cast things, but you can only cast them until the end of the turn. So you have to leave your mana open for Daxos in order to do anything before you play, before you attack. So if an opponent has a blocker in the way, then you have to, kill it or bounce it or get rid of it somehow. You can't, you have to use your mana right away. And he tapped mana. It sounds like it's Doomblade for Daxos. I'm not expecting that to happen, so no big deal. Alright, the white mana makes our name is whatever, it doesn't really matter. Alright. Let's see what he does. So we've got an aggressive blue-white build. For the most part, he's going to Boomblade it. Just afraid of it. Most people are really afraid of this card. 9 times out of 10, I know not 9 times, maybe like 8 out of 10 times, I just hit land. What did I say? Didn't I just say Doomblade? I've just been hitting land like constantly. It's been really aggravating because I was playing against what was the mono-white cat general? The Mono-White Cat Artifact General. What is that thing called? Now I don't even remember. Anyway, the one that makes cats when you have equipment attached to it. I attacked him 5 times. I had 4 lands and one random thing. Triad of Fates. God, what's this card gonna do to me? Alright. Well, we're gonna put down. Ooh. So this is a dual land right now. You can cast Daxos or you can cast Future Sight. He seems to have a grip of removal for the most part because he hasn't cast anything in 4 turns. He's got 7 cards in hand. So if he has Daxos, probably need a Doomblade or a Path or something. You need to get some kind of advantage. His deck's gonna be tricky. So what is his grip? His a new deck too, a new general. Put a fate counter, exile a creature that has a fate counter, and return to the battlefield. So it looks like Dax is going to have a hard time getting against General. He's got Pilgrim's Eye. Skullclamp's going to kill the Pilgrim's Eye. Alright, what's going off here? Skullclamp's a problem. We can probably just condemn that next turn if he lets us. Probably won't though, because he probably have a creature he wants to bounce. Alright. Force of Will. Not too shabby. Alright. So we can cast Daxos, or we can just cast Arcanus. I'm just going to cast Arcanus now. He's going to be drawing tons of cards, and we kind of want to as well. He's got a Reliquary Tower, so he's not going to have to discard. Although he doesn't know we don't have a blue card in our hand. Maybe that's a reason to cast another card. But he doesn't know that. He just knows we have Force of Will on top of our library. So I've actually had a pretty couple sweet games with this deck. Okay, Skin Render can happen. Does he have another effect? Maybe so. He's gonna be bouncing these things. Maybe he'll attack with this guy. The pro thing is I can just bounce this again in my hand if he bounces Skin Render. Why would he attack though? You could just put a fate counter and bounce it. I'm having a hard time winning this game. It's gonna be a grind. Alright. Alright, so we can cast the Brainstorm for free. Or we can just draw 3 cards and then see what's on top. I think it's probably better just to draw 3. And see what happens. Crucible, land. Alright. Brainstorm. Ooh, Mana Crypt, not bad. Dismantling Blow. Probably don't need a Dismantling Blow for the value. We're gonna be able to draw cards no matter what. Alright, so we have a top on top. So we're going a little bit crazy here. Ooh, Academy Rector. Alright. That's gonna be good. and a Cryptic Command. Then we can discard all these lands. And we can just get back with Crucible anyway. Maybe I'm gonna discard 3 land. Probably just the Cavern Plains, probably. Alright, he's probably gonna bounce Skin Render, kill this. Maybe he'll kill Counter-Rector. Would be ideal. Alright, how many planes? We actually do need some planes. Alright. We could have topped and drawn off the top again, but it's not really gonna do us any good. Alright, our opponent did not want to see Future Sight happen. So, I don't know if we were in condemning shape to kill him. I guess he just couldn't get through Academy-Rector, which is probably his frustration. He didn't have an exile effect. But I thought he was in really good shape. He could have put a Fate counter on this, bounced it, killed my Arcanist, and then he could have found a way to deal with the Academy-Rector. Although I did have Forcible in my hand, so I don't know. He wasn't interested. We didn't get in with Daxos. If you want to see the replay, I'm actually probably just going to attach to this video. So hold on one moment and we'll do that. Alright, so this isn't the game that I wanted to show you. I forgot that I was playing the game against Rafik on my laptop at school. So the way games replays work is they don't save based on your account. They save based on what computer you're on. But this is a pretty good one I played earlier today, so we're going to do it real quick as a little bonus to the previous game. So it's going to show you more of the Daxos beating down, and that's kind of what I want to show. Not just a blue-white control deck. So our hand looks pretty acceptable. We've got quick mana, and we've got a double striker, and we've got Gideon. Gideon can help you get in, and he's just a powerhouse for the most part. Alright, so I'm going to press play, maybe that'll help better. Opponent's playing Sedris, the Traitor King. So Sedris gives your guys Unearth for 2 and a black, and Unearth lets them return a creature from the graveyard to the battlefield, and then they can attack with it as though it has haste. And also, I'll stop it here. Also, it gets exiled at the end of turn. So you can see return a card to the battlefield, creature gains haste, exile at the beginning of the next end step, or if it will leave the battlefield. So if it you'd bounce back to your hand, the card would get exiled anyway, and you can only unearth as a sorcery. So what they tend to do is they fill the graveyard with a bunch of value creatures like Ingot Chewer, Ether Snipe, Rune-Scarred Demon, things like that give them good value for 2 black, and they just kind of go off that way. So he places the Miracle discards. He discards Razorfin Abolisher. Not sure what this card is going to be doing in his deck. Return card creature with a counter on it to its owner's hand. So I don't know if he's got some kind of counter theme, because returning creatures to his owner's hand doesn't really work because it just gets exiled anyway. But we get a free attack in here. And we get Vicious Shadow, so maybe he's got some kind of just either he likes Vicious Shadows because it's a really good card, or he's got a lot of removal. Unfortunately, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't have enough mana to cast it, so we just kind of lost out there. So we're going to play a Glenelundra Archmage and try to protect our Daxos. We want to really protect this guy. We built a deck kind of around him, so we want to make sure. He's playing a Rakdos Signet, which I'm not going to counter. I don't like to counter Signets. I don't know, it's for the most part. And I'd rather him, not cast Doomblade on Daxos after I counter his Signet. But he casts Perilous Mirror, which is going to be a problem, because Perilous Mirror, when it dies, does 2 damage to our creature player. It's pretty much the perfect answer to Daxos at this point. We do have a sword in our hand, which is going to help. We're going to play the sword and pass. We're going to attack with Glenelundra. I want to hold up this mana drain because I don't know what he's going to cast next turn. It doesn't cast his general. Plus, yeah, if I attack with Daxos and Perilous Mirror, he would just probably shoot the Glenelundra. So we'll just really wouldn't have accomplished much. And so you cast Divination. So my theory with the card draw spells, when you don't have that many counters, well, I guess I do have a couple, but if I don't counter this, he's stuck on lands. I'm going to have to counter 2 spells for the most part, so I'm just going to counter this. He seems like he's stuck on land, and it's going to help me get further ahead. That's what I do. There we go. So we got an island, not too bad. We're going to attack with Daxos and Glenelundra. He's going to shoot the Glenelundra, which is fine. We do have Sword in our hand, so Sword of Light and Shadow lets you get back creatures from the graveyard, put them back in your hand, which is pretty awesome with a card like Glenelundra. I haven't played with Sword much outside of kiki-jiki deck, and in this kind of a deck it seems pretty good, because, if Glenelundra dies, Silverblade Paladin dies, you have an answer. to get it back. So we have Silverblade Paladin. We do it post-combat because this would have gotten killed by Perilous Mirror, and we didn't want that to happen. And you kind of want to see if they don't block. So, okay, herein lies the problem with this deck. I think I said this earlier, but like if I want to cast Silverblade Paladin and attack with Daxos, I use up almost all my mana, and then if I double strike, I'm not going to get anything to cast off their deck. So I am kind of, you know, iffy about him because a lot of times you just hit land, you can't do anything with those, and then you need to fight your way through like 2/2s and 1/1s like this, and if you try to find a way through or double strike them up or cast equipment, you're just using all your mana for that turn. And if you hit a land, you don't gain any life, so it's just like you're not going to mill your opponent out with Daxos. It's just pretty unlikely unless you have some kind of other mill plan, which isn't probably the best thing. Opponent plays Aethys Snipe. So we're going to probably bounce Daxos, or the sword, probably just Daxos, which means I can't attack with him next turn, which is not what I want to happen. And even with mana drain, like, normally that's pretty awesome, but you can cast one of those, like, beaters like Gideon, but you can't use it after you attack. The mana has to go away. So we did sink some mana. And we've got our Gwendolyn back. So we exiled a Cloud of the Dawn, so it's like the first thing I have to cast, and a Swamp. Can't use Swamp, unfortunately. So we're going to give our creature +1/+1 and Shroud. Not too bad. And activate Gideon. Gideon's going to make it easier for us to get in. So opponent plays Una, and I don't actually need to counter Una, to be honest. But I wasn't really paying attention to life totals for commander damage, so I just countered it. Drew Tameo. As we get in, we do this, we have Exalted with Cathedral of War, so it's going to be a 6/6 double striking creature. It's my dog! And we actually killed him with commander damage, so it's kind of funny. Anyways, my dog is barking. Kenny, what's wrong? Kenny! Come here. What? 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 You gonna bark? No. Alright. Hope you guys enjoyed those, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.